Welcome back to Barcelona. Yeah, as you can see, it's gone pretty well so far. We've had a good start to the season. I did miss out a few more games than I said before. We were going to come back for these two, but I just thought there's no point really. Let's come back for the Real Madrid and Real Sociedad games, which are both away from home, close together, and without much of a rest. So I thought for so many different reasons, it was a good way to come back and a good challenge for us. But so far, things have gone pretty well. The only tactical tweak that I've made is in the last couple of games, and I've taken Be More Expressive off, and you're going to see a goal here. I have to show you this goal. This goal here, if I remember rightly, this is the correct one. It was just an incredible move, and I just remember at the time thinking, I've got to record this or at least show it on camera to you. So we start with the ball here, just the build-up play. This is the first sort of game where I looked at taking Be More Expressive off. I did look at taking the width down to stop those like forced balls in this sort of area, but they still seem to do it even with the width down. But I took Be More Expressive off because now we've got a high mentality. Our tempo's up, our mentality is higher. And we're now in fluid, so we don't need the Be More Expressive setting anymore, I don't think, really. So just taking that off seemed like they're a bit more control of what they did. As you can see, what a move, what a goal that was. So that's what we've taken off. And since then, as you can see the results, it's just gone from strength to strength. So the first game was exactly as we left off last season. Started to do a bit of tweaks in the width and other stuff in these two games. Then since the Levante game, these three games have been the current tweaks. So we've scored 7, 4, and 6 in the first three games. And that was the backup team, obviously, in the Champions League. So we're going to go into today's game then with not much of a rest going into these two matches with the Be More Expressive turned off. But everything else is exactly the same. One change to the team. Adeyemi's release clause was activated by a couple of clubs. So he's ended up going to United for 60 million. And we ended up bringing in, I don't know how to pronounce your name, Noni. But Noni comes in and he's a left-footed player that can play on the right. And he's quick. And he's just got a bit of everything else. And he's actually quite similar to Adeyemi, but probably a better fit because he's got a lot more flair. So I don't know. You know, he was the best player that we could bring in. I was quite happy with him coming in as the player. So this is the team then for today's game. It's going to be the El Clasico. It's going to be El Clasico, and it's going to be a slightly moved around team. Declan Rice is a bit tired, so he's out, and so is Gaia. So Frankie de Jong goes into the pivot role, and Gavi goes to midfield, and then Riquelme goes as a straight swap at left back. I did think about putting Guardiola in, but when you go with Riquelme, don't want to see him stress tested in a competitive environment. As the manager says, pick up where he left off. This is the first game, I think, where I've done Be More Expressive off from the start. Maybe the last one, actually, we did it as well. Cristiano has it, plays to Eric Garcia. Eric Garcia to Pedri. Pedri pings it in a bit early to the Tara, but they did leave him and give him the option to go in behind. That's okay. Mbappe has it. And that's going to be the end of the attack. And we just have the ball. They're going to clear it. We're going to recover it. And hopefully counter with some structure at the very least. Mbappe has it. Pings it across early. That's a poor effort from Mbappe. That's the times where they're just a little bit too direct, aren't they, with the ball? But they continue now, Real Madrid. They have the ball middle, goes back, across. They stay on it. They get in behind with Rafinha. And we just about get away with that. I mean, Eric Garcia link up with Pedri now. Okay, still has it. Gives it to Eric Garcia. De Jong. And I don't like that at all. And no matter what happens here, I'm not happy with how that ended up at the start. I just don't like when they do this. It goes to like De Jong, the pivot player. I mean, I suppose, yeah, again, there's two centre-backs. I've not picked up the one striker, so if Etu did get in space, I suppose, in a way, I don't mind it, but I just like a slightly better effort from Gavi to come and get on the ball, or at least be in a different area, or, you know, something. Pedri maybe, somebody making more of an effort to not be screened completely and marked, but it did work. As the other scored. Even possession so far, which is a little disappointing, that's not really been a theme so far. We've dominated pretty much everybody so far. They're going to go long, and we're going to recover this with Pedro Porro. Livakovic then hasn't done that so far. It's the first time he's actually just pinged it. There's been a few times actually where he's been pretty good. I know some of you in the comment section are commenting that sweeper keeper attack is not the way to go. And normally, like, I completely agree. I don't like using sweeper keeper attack or support for this kind of football, but right now it just seems like it's the best way to go. Until right then, Be More Expressive does need to come back on. And we'll deal with the current other problems we were getting. Because I don't know if I'm liking this. That we should be doing slightly better in terms of the chances created. Like, it's Real Madrid, but they are not a good team compared to us. We're a much better team, I think, on paper. They've got Benzema up front, so they haven't really got a threat up front that's going to run in behind and destroy you on the counter. Like a cheap counter-attack goal, they're not really going to get against us. So we really should be dominating this game. Real Madrid highlight with Carvajal, on the right-hand side to Rafinha, to Casemiro. They link up a little bit here. They're going to break through. They shouldn't really, but they might do. Pretty well set there. And Benzema's just dragged. I mean, Eric Garcia is starting to annoy me. I'll say happy so far because we are winning, but I'm going to put Be More Expressive back in. I mean, tempo can't go any lower, can it? That's the only thing I can think of. They're not really rushing it. It's more, they get the time and then they choose to do it anyway. So it's not really a tempo issue, I don't think, but we'll try it. because we know what we can go back to. We know what works within reason. Within a margin of error, we have a good recreation, but we want it to be slightly better, so we're going to keep testing to improve it. But yeah, Carvajal wins it and comes away with it. We should win this, really. Benzema's got no pace. That'll do. Oh my goodness, Pedro Porro, what are you doing? Don't give away penalty. There's no way that's a penalty. There's no way it's in the box. I've actually been wrong before about this. Yeah, good. I like here, they're going to play out from the back. Hopefully we can press them and force them to go long. Erling Haaland wins it. He's going to go on the outside, play to Dani Alves, into Messi, Messi to Xavi, and it's going to be a good save. I might actually switch Musiala and Pedri the rest of this game. Yeah, let's do that. Garcia's going to come off, and Guardiola's going to go in there because I do not trust him. Ansu Fati goes through, it's blocked. De Jong, Pedri's going to stay on it for us. Into De Jong to Pedro Porro. So that's actually a really dangerous ball. Real Madrid are going to play out from the back. They get the ball to Carvajal, pings it into Rafinha. Rafinha pings it into Benzema, and we win the ball with Skriniar, Pedri, just like that. We've just won the ball, and we nearly scored. But when Pedri wins the ball here, right, wins it there, and we even just go back a tiny bit here. He's won it, and he's got his Busquets behind him. His Messi's a bit narrow. So he's the Xavi right now, actually, so he's a bit far over. So he's got his Iniesta there. I just think that in real life, if he is going to win it there anyway, which he probably wouldn't be there, but if he did, gives it to Busquets and then moves, but wouldn't just ping it, I think, like that. And if he did, I think it'd be more straight for Haaland to run onto, not at the corner flag sort of area. So I like the movements with him as a playmaker because it frees up Haaland's space, but he just comes over to this side too much. That's the only concern I have with this box-to-box sort of role. There's no way to select it. There is the advanced playmaker support. Try that. Now I'm thinking about this. If the ball's on the left-hand side, and that's where I keep seeing these long switches, it's quite often from the fullback and this side and going across the pitch. So maybe if we have a playmaker role here, maybe the ball will get sucked towards them slightly more, and they'll look to use them to feet a bit more than they currently are. Maybe that's the way to go, is to have one of these to be a playmaker, and it's not going to be Musiala, it's going to have to be Pedri. And maybe we do go to Robin playmaker and accept the fact that he's going to just run from time to time on the left-hand side of the pitch, which I hate, in theory, but we could still make him an advanced playmaker or deep line playmaker. It's a little low there, but they, like you see, he gets the ball to Messi free. Well, it's Haaland, but you get what I mean. He just gets the ball to him in a bit more space and time, and in a 1v1 situation, a bit more. Pedri gets it. Now, there we go, there's Messi. It's going to have to be a playmaker role, isn't it? Because the box-to-box still it's not even he's in the way. Like, there are some roles where if he was like central forward or attack, he'd actually be in the way of Erling Haaland. He's not actually in the space in the way, but he's close enough where he brings a defender with him, and then the passing lane isn't there to Haaland. So it's probably, for fuck's sake, it's probably better for us if we create like a playmaker role, but that's not good. We'll take the draw, I guess, if we have to, because we're away from home and it's a head-to-head situation here. So as long as we beat them at home, we're okay. Right, 1-1 draw. I'll say not good enough. If we just go back to the tactic then, let's whack that back on, and let's make him yet again a Romanian playmaker, but just no move into channels. And we'll keep him like that. He's still got dribble less on, pass shorter, trying to make it more Xavi-like, but we'll see how it goes. We'll put some of these lads in for a rest and see who's available for the next game. Yes, I'll see you in a second then for the Real Sociedad game. Welcome back. So for this game, Guardiola goes back into left back for us. Declan Rice is going to play as our Busquets again, and everybody else moves back around into that sort of setup there. Right, so the thing to watch out for this game is how many times does the Romanian playmaker come over? Because when we changed it, I think a few episodes ago, my annoyance was that he made like a half space run like Iniesta should make on Iniesta's side, and that could never happen. If that's a rare occurrence, I can accept it as just a flaw, of what we're trying to do, and it's just a rare occurrence. Look at this square picture; it's not quite a square, but yeah. So it could be something that we can just sort of say it's one of those things that we can get as close as we can get with the match engine, and that's just what it's going to have to be. But if it's all the time, it's just going to be a tactical flaw, in my opinion. I don't want to see that really. So we'll see how it looks anyway in this game, and I'll keep watching off camera anyway because I think be more expressive does want to stay on. Oh, there should be a goal. Lautaro Martinez has got a lot of goals this season. He scored 10 already. And it's 1-0, free kick, Pedro Porro. Good lad. Dani Alves. Guardiola's just done his best Stoke City impression here. So he gets it, and he just sends it because I think it's because they don't pick him up. They're not picking up the striker, so I think they're seeing it as a threat. He's a threat in behind. Pedri isn't open as a passing option because the lane's closed, so they do that, then we sort of get lucky and we then rebuild from that position. The space is off. He's already on that. Change his role to a support duty, but I don't want to do that. And then we'll hit Pedri to strike over to Haaland, to Pedro Porro, to Skriniar, to Eric Garcia. Please no like ridiculous ping forwards. Pedro Porro, Skriniar, Declan Rice, Eric Garcia. Nice build-up play here. Gavardia, will he do it again? Nope, plays into Mbappe's feet. Nice. Mbappe dribbles in, plays it across to Messi. Surely he's got to be. Oh, that's good. Much better. Absolutely brilliant. That's okay. When you drag the defence across and you leave like a spare player on the far side of the defensive line, that's okay. That's exactly is well within the recreation there. That was good. Much better. I'm pleased that they didn't just ping that. And we stay on this set piece here as we're carrying on. It's cross Mbappe and it's 2-0. Second phase. Well, it's almost a second phase set piece. Maybe even just an open play goal there. As our Thierry Henry at the back post yet again doing the business. Yeah, players almost ended up in their open positions there. From the open play positions from the corner. And Thierry Henry makes it 2. And one of the tougher games this season. They're a good team, Sociedad on FM. Even though we're 2 years... in our third season, sorry. But yeah, them away from home, they're a good team that keep the ball pretty well. Possession's always decently high, so this is actually one of our tougher games. Absolutely battering them. The expected goals is incredibly high for a first half without a penalty in particular. And they're going to get a chance here with Januzaj and saved by the keeps, and that's going to probably be the end of it, and it is. Early take here with the free kick, Gavardio to Mbappe. Mbappe back into Gavardio. Gavardio to Dion, Pedri, Lautaro. Lautaro to Pedri, oh, okay. I actually like the idea here. Oh, I need to do that. If we just go back, get Pedri back on the ball. Pedri gets on the ball here, he turns with it, and he's actually got Mbappe there completely through. Does he try it? No, okay, he doesn't even try it, but that's okay, because he opens his body up and he then sees our Messi, our Erling Haaland on the last line of the defence, and almost gets that through. So that's a really good idea. That's a really good bit of play to build up to get the ball to them, and that was nearly executed to perfection. We had two players that were completely through on goal, and we could have got the ball to either of them, and we just were a bit unlucky, to be honest. That's really good. I'm happy with that. So those are the things you've got to sort of I think take into consideration, not just the goals and the attacks that happen, but the ones that nearly happen as well, right? Gavardio gets it, Eric Garcia plays it across, Skriniar straight into should have been the playmaker. Haaland, Pedro, De Jong. Yeah, that's shite, De Jong, isn't it? Really, let's be honest. I feel like that Haaland is more effective with him as a roaming playmaker, and I feel like that then De Jong, the Xavi role, is just about as effective as before. Like it's which isn't that much. I don't know. At the moment, I'm going to probably keep it as it is with the roaming playmaker. I don't think I'll bother releasing the tactic again because it's exactly the same as before, but with a roaming playmaker instead of box to box with no other changes to the player. And that should have been 3. Like we've done okay in this game. We're still 2-0 up and could easily be 3 or 4 up. Shows just how far we are. It shows what standards we're at, right? Because people were jumping into this series halfway through. They'd see the comments of and me talking about how we're not happy with X, Y, Z, and they see the comments of yeah, you need to do this better or that better. People are gonna be like, what are these guys on about, man? The standards are so high of what we're trying to achieve. People will just be happy that they've got the success. It remotely is a possession-based tactic and it's successful. Some people will just be happy with that. And obviously here we're very specific over the standards that we set and what we want. So that's good. It's a testament to everybody that watches these videos and comments and interacts. I know there's a lot of you that just watch and don't comment, and that's absolutely fine. Not a problem with that at all. And people free to do exactly what they want. It's just nice. It's nice to have the interaction, to hear what other people are thinking if they're doing stuff, doing the same things with their own tactics and their own saves, and that's going to be a penalty. I really like our audience and our channel. I see it as our channel. Everybody's a part of it. I love being able to do this stuff. I'm glad that I'm able to still do it, and it's 3-0. Haaland off, Madu. Noni can go on, and we'll take off, I think, De Jong and throw on Gavi. Oh no. Okay, he's already on. Musiala then. Mbappe. Oh, that was close. Just change on Gavi and Musiala in case you're confused about any of the highlights that come up. Gavi is now in the Xavi role, Musiala in the Iniesta role. 62% possession, 63. That's okay away from home. Against Sociedad, that's definitely fine. Skriniar gets it. Gavi, Rice. Gavi, Noni to Samuel Eto'o. Should have been 4. Good move. Well, apologies for that. You probably just saw the goal. I had a notification come up on my laptop as I was speaking. Yeah, they scored from a set piece, really. They ran through the middle. 3-1. Highlight immediately after Eric Garcia to Guardiola to Mbappe. Mbappe back to Guardiola, into Declan Rice, to Gavi, to Musiala. Do you know what? I like that. He sort of came across just about. I don't want to stop this too many more times, but I just want one more time. One more time, bear with me here. Right. So, with box midfielder stay wider, he'd probably be around this sort of area. With the right central midfielder, he'd be around here. Because he's a running playmaker and he's able to drift across this way a little bit. When it gets into Rice there, and then it goes across one more into Gavi. So, imagine that line down the middle. You don't ideally really want the players, both central midfielders, that side of it. But he's only just across, and it actually makes sense here just to quickly get on it and give it to somebody else. So he gets on it, and it completely frees up then our Iniesta to be able to get forward, make a movement. And I just think it actually had a really nice balance to it. So, I don't know, maybe Roman Playmaker was the way to go to begin with anyway. It was unfortunate I saw that one highlight when I did, because that really put me off, because I knew that was not what was supposed to happen. And Musiala decides that he's just going to ruin the attack, to be honest, by making that movement afterwards. And he nearly scored, though. I was going to do it. Big win for Barcelona. Well done, lads. 3-1 win away from home is very, very good with the possession we got, the chances we created, where we just dominated, really. And you saw the patterns, the movements coming towards the end of the game. 4.0 expected goals. Very good. Possession so far is that, 62% average with 5,400 passes completed, although a lot of other teams have only played 6 games, so that doesn't really tell you the full picture, but it's pretty good. Expected goals 422.99. The next team has 9.44. Oh, there you go. That shows just how dominant we are. We are absolutely dominant. For some corners, we've had one, just to show you that there is no exploit corner set piece tactic going on here. Also, we're the best defensive team, I think, as well. Expected goals against is 3.50. That's really, really good. We are excellent, and I think we've only conceded now 2 goals this season. 3. We've conceded 3 goals in 7 games. We've scored nearly 30, 10-1 ratio almost. So you can see things are going pretty well. And Real Madrid have already dropped points multiple times. If they win their game in hand, they go on to 14 points. They go 5 points behind us, and we get to play them at home next. So they're out. They're done. It's probably going to be a top win for us, I think, this year as well, if I'm already having to guess it from this point. This is a tough one. Where do we come back? Because, obviously, we're all waiting for the knockout stage of the Champions League, where we just see whether we can win the Champions League or not. Right? That's pretty much what we're going to be waiting for. We could probably do one sort of update episode where we just see how tactic has been going with the Roman Playmaker a little bit. But even Spanish Super Cup isn't until January. So what I'm thinking is, I hold fire a little bit on trying to get the episode out as soon as possible. Like, it's coming up to the weekend here. I'm never going to stream this series over what would have been an episode. So what I'm saying is, like, I'm not going to have come back for these games as an episode, but actually I'm going to stream it instead, sort of thing. What it might be is, we might say the next episode could be that game against Real Madrid, but then I might stream everything in between. So for those of you that want to see, like, it in real time, want to come watch the stream and stream through this save, we can. But if you don't, you're not going to miss any episodes. It's still going to stay as an episode series. Because I don't see the point really in coming back for anything. Because I can tell you right now, we're going to be top of the league. We might be undefeated. And we'll probably be about 10 points clear, something like that. And we'll be through to the knockout stages of the Champions League. Like, I know that's what's going to happen. And I think you probably do too, if you've seen the first 2 seasons. So I'm thinking we come back maybe for the Real Madrid game, and I just stream all of this over a day or something. Either way, I'll either play all of these off camera, or I'll stream all of these, and we just come back for this game against Real Madrid in the Spanish Super Cup. We'll do that game and maybe the Granada game, and then the next one after that will probably be the Real Madrid. Same 2 games we just did, actually, but the reverse fixtures both at home after the January transfer window to see if anything happened transfer-wise. And then we'll have the Spanish Cup and the Champions League after that, sort of, to look at. The ideal thing here is we want to win the treble, right? We want to win the La Liga, we want to win the Spanish Cup, and we want to win, obviously, the Champions League. So we want to win all 3, and I think that's what we come back for. So hopefully that makes sense to you. We'll skip all of this, and we'll come back for that game there. But I will stream it, I think, for those that are interested in watching it after the fact. If you want to just see it, if you want to see the tactic in play over multiple games, you can. And if you want to come and join and have a chat about Football Manager, football, whatever you want, we can do that as well. And then for those of you that couldn't care less about that, I'll see you back then for this game here against Real Madrid, and we'll continue on as normal. So that's going to do it. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you're enjoying the series. I'm looking forward to finally win the Champions League. It's like I'm just waiting now for that to come. I just want to get to knockout stages and destroy some teams that have destroyed us in previous seasons. So thank you very much for watching. See you next time.